Remember the craze of cannabis space. Cannabis stocks were going to the moon. And in today's video, I'm going to feature 1933 Industries, which is involved in the cannabis space. And we'll talk about whether this space is a good space to take you to the moon. If you're new to this channel, my name is Mariusz Konieczny. I run Microcap Explosions, which is a website dedicated to microcap stocks, which are ignored and undervalued by the investment industry. I also wrote 10 books on investing, one of which is available for a free download at microcapexplosions.com. Recently, I created Value Investing University, which is a free resource that you should sign up for to make you a more intelligent investor. 1933 Industries should literally get an award, be conducted to the Hall of Shame for destroying 99% of investors' capital. Maybe I should consider making a video series of how some microcap companies destroy people's wealth. And 1933 is a company that was very popular at one point. If you can see on the stock chart, the stock was trading for as much as $8 per share, and today it is at 4.5 cents. Now, there was a lot of craze about cannabis, pot, which is, as I said, Canadian special. That's what people on the Canadian exchange want to do. They want to get high on pot, look for gold, and then when they have too much anxiety, eat some mushrooms. In other words, they get attracted to these awful businesses, and they are not interested when they are presented with real businesses, with real clients, real solutions, real way to change their lives. They are just attracted to those businesses that don't have a chance of making the money. So let's talk about cannabis and the business. I have a friend whose son grows weed, okay, in Michigan. And in some states in the US, making pot is legal, okay? So he got a license to grow weed in Michigan. And I remember when that happened, they were so happy. They were so happy to get the license. And this lasted about 2 months. Then the happiness turned into sadness and anger. And he wanted out. The government was taking too much money for the license. The partner wasn't working out. It was an endless pit. They had to keep, putting and sinking money into the facility. And it's no different for the whole industry. When your company produces pot, it's a commodity. Okay? It's a commodity. Some pot producers want to say that, well, but our product, like for 1933 Industries, it's a premium brand. We package it and we put it in stores and we sell it in a store. It's a commodity product, okay? It's like a pig with a lipstick, okay? You might have a branded product, or you might say this is a craft cannabis, kind of like craft beer. Well, craft beer is a terrible business, okay? Because business like this needs scale. And so is this. So you're selling a commodity product that everybody and their brother wants to grow, including the big companies, right? So you have a lot of competition. And when you have a lot of competition and a lot of producers that want to grow it, the prices of this product is going to keep going down. Now, you already have low margins to begin with, okay? And how do you improve your margins? Well, you have to have a facility, right? Big facility with lights and this and all this equipment. That costs money, right? So right there, it's capital intensive. And I hate capital intensive businesses. So you invest in this facility and you sell the product and you generate okay margins. And then more producers come in and then they make the prices of your product go down even more. And now, in order for you to maintain your margins, what do you have to do? You have to get better equipment. You have to expand. You have to do this. sinking more money and more money into, and it never ends. It never ends. You don't have recurring revenues. You can have repeat business. I'll give them this. There's not much brand awareness. And if you want to go to the store to sell it through the stores, it's just like any other thing that's packaged good. You have to get a distributor to get to the store. The distributor takes a cut. You have to pay for the shelf space at the retail location. And you have to spend so much money to create foot traffic into that location, because otherwise they're not going to carry your product. And that's marketing that comes from the shareholder, right? And then when you send them the product, the retailer doesn't take any risk, because the retailer will only pay you 90 days late after the retailer sells it, but you have to manufacture the inventory, you have to send it, ship it to them, and if they don't sell it, they ship it back to you. Doesn't sound like a great business model, okay? And of course, you're selling a commodity that you have to keep plowing money into your production facility to maintain your margins, right? So who is the winner in a business like this? The person that has the best state-of-the-art facility. So scale matters. And as this becomes more legal and adopted, what kind of players are going to enter this? What kind of players are already entering it? Alcohol companies, tobacco companies, pharmaceuticals. Do you think they have more or less money than your microcap stock trading in Canada? Right? They're always going to outcompete you. They're going to have better facilities, better production costs, safer. They're going to be better, right? So you're not going to win on that. You can never keep up with them. And on top of it, you are facing competition from illegal growers, because illegal growers don't have your cost structure, right? They don't have to pay the state for the license, and their costs are lower. So they can undercut you on the product, and you have disadvantages on every corner that you turn. You're at a disadvantage. Doesn't sound like a great business model, okay? And if that business model is so bad, that's why so many people lose money on cannabis stocks, because the ads for success are not there. 1933 in 2020 had gross profit margin of 22%. And in 2021, the gross profit margin was 30%. That's a tiny gross profit. Like, this is so tiny. And then from that gross profit, you have to pay for all the marketing, all the general and administrative. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that investors lost 99% of their money on this stock and many other cannabis stocks. What about the barriers of entry? Well, anybody can get into this, right? If you have money, you can just pay the license or buy a license. You can get into growing it. And if you don't want to buy a license, you can illegally grow it. So your competition can enter anytime. And like I said, everybody and their brother wants to grow pot because it's going to make them rich, because we're legalizing pot. So therefore, let's grow it. That's going to make us rich, right? Because the industry is growing. Remember, anytime the industry is growing, anytime you can grow revenues, that means you're going to get rich. Also, because it's a capital-intensive business, you know that the venture capitalists think the same way, as I just said, and then there's unlimited capital from venture capitals for weed producers, which are your competition. So if you look at this industry from this point of view, you realize that this is not a business that you want to be in. This is not a business that's going to make you rich. The only way this business will make you rich is if the other people don't pay attention to the business and they get so hyped up and excited about the opportunity of legalizing weed and how it's going to make them rich, and they're going to bid up the stock prices. But when you look at the fundamental business, it's unlikely that it's going to make you rich. So instead of focusing on cannabis, focus on real businesses that have real customers, good margins, recurring revenues. Those are the businesses that you want to find in microcap space. Don't look for the losers. That's not the way to go. Thanks for watching.